What up, what up, what up? Guillotine Geeks back at it again, baby. UFC 271, Houston, Texas. Let's fucking get it, baby. Okay, first fight of the night. We're going to run into Jeremiah Wells versus Mike Mathetha. And no, I don't have a fucking lisp. That's his fucking name. They call him the Blood Diamond. You might have heard of that before. Jeremiah Wells, teammate of Paul Felder. We've heard things about him. He's got a lot of experience with guys that have experience in the gym. Mike Mathetha, he's only 3-0. He's a kickboxer. Izzy talks him up. Off the rip, I'll give my pick. I'm going to go Jeremiah Wells. I think he's going to get an early knockout. I think that Mike Mathetha doesn't have a complete skill set. I think Jeremiah can take this fight wherever he wants. I love his power. I think if Mathetha can, avoid a lot of damage early in this fight, maybe he picks away a decision. But I love the line. I like Wells. Let's go Goose.
Yeah, you look at this fight and Blood Diamond 3-0 coming into the UFC. That is a tough spot to be in, because you have all the hype around you, but you don't have the experience. And I think when you're thrown in there on a pay-per-view against a guy like Jeremiah Wells, who's been established, he's beaten some big names, I think it's going to be a tough night out for him. I think you look at the wrestling of Jeremiah Wells, and even if he's not getting takedowns early and keeping him down, it's going to be in the back of his mind. And I think that's going to be the difference. Blood Diamond is in a tough spot. You're coming in, your debut is going to be against Orion Koski. He pulls out, and then Jeremiah Wells steps in on short notice. Now you're getting a bump up an opponent. I don't think he's ready for it. But if he does find the button, that fight will be electric, and it will be an amazing way to start the card. But I'm picking Jeremiah Wells.
Yeah, let's hear the breakdown from you, Fish.
I agree with you guys on the Blood Diamond City Kickboxing. Trains there with Izzy, Kaikar France, Hooker. And good gym, but the experience, like Goose said, he's only got 3 professional fights. So I'm going with Wells, but I'm going with Wells because 7 out of 9 of his wins are finished, and he has 4 knockouts, 3 subs, trains at Renzo Gracie in Philly. So, his last win was a knockout win against Warley Alves. And let's go. We're going with Jeremiah Wells for sure on this one.
Jeremiah Wells, he's a specimen, very strong guy. And for a guy that's going to be clearly the stronger man in this matchup, let's take the guy that can wrestle. I mean, the kickboxer, what do you want to do to him? Don't let him kickbox. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is Deandre Silva, Deandre. I definitely said that wrong. Sergey Marzov. This fight is interesting because Andrade is coming off a huge win. Marzov just seems like a complete fighter. He's 17-4. This is going to be a huge matchup for him. It's going to really tell us where he stands. He's kind of a big question mark in the division as of now. This is a bantamweight match, by the way. I like Marzov just to be a more complete fighter. I think that maybe the takedowns will play big into this fight. I think that if he can make it less of a bang and brawl and more of a grind out wrestling match, I think he's got a really good chance to just take this one away. Andrade is an older guy. I think he's going to slow down. And if Marzov can just, stick through those first couple hard minutes where he's going to be having to really dodge some crazy shots, I think that he can muscle this one out. Let's go Fishman first on this one.
So, Silva de Andrade, 5-4 in the UFC. In 2021, he was 1-1. And so stand-up guy, knockouts, he has 20 knockouts, only been knocked out once. So prefers to keep it on the feet. He's only been subbed 1 time, has a submission himself. Here are some dogs that he's faced. So Rob Font, Peter Yan, he has a win over Chito Vera, Lerone Murphy. But this dude comes to bang, and I love that. I'm going with him, Silva Deandre. But Sergey Marzov, 1-1 in the UFC. He has 8 knockouts, been finished on the feet 1 time. He has 3 subs. So, and in 2021, he has a win over Khalid
Taha.
yeah, and Umar Nurmagomedov. But that's a dog, tough fight. But we're going with Douglas.
All right,
So,
fair play. Fair play. Goose.
Yeah, so I want to start. I didn't really feel great with either side when I was trying to figure out which way I was going to go. Ultimately, I ended up siding with Sergey Morozov. And that's for a couple reasons. You look at Silva Deandre, he's 36. He's not fighting as much as he used to. But again, you're never comfortable picking against a guy with 20 knockouts. They both fought good competition. I think if Morozov can get up against the cage, get a takedown early, that will ease my mind a little bit. I'm a little bit nervous about the strength from Silva Deandre. If he can keep this fight on the feet, he might spark him. But going off Morozov's last fight, he fought a big puncher in Khalid Taha. He was able to manage that well, and I think he'll be able to do the same in this.
Yeah, that's a very similar matchup. We'll see if he can stay out of the way of, a lot of dangerous stuff. Morozov is -220. Douglas is a good dog. You want a good dog to take, +175. Throw a couple dollars on that guy. Let's move right into the next one. The next one is Jacob Malkoun versus AJ Dobson. This is a middleweight fight, and for some reason, my Geeks senses are tingling. I don't know why this line's so damn close. Jacob Malkoun, yeah, he came out last fight, and he had a really great performance against Razak Al-Hassan. But my final takeaway from that is that just Razak is just not good. I mean, people want to say, okay, Razak, yeah. But there's something to be said about getting turned into a piece of plywood and then just not being the same. And I feel like that's very much what happened to Razak. I'm not sure if he's mentally strong enough, or I'm not going to say anything like that, but I just think that loss changed him. And I think that he didn't have that aggression he needed. He really could have beat Jacob Malkoun. I feel like it was almost a spot where they wanted him to. I don't think I see that problem with AJ Dobson whatsoever at all. I see a beast. I see a strong figure that's going to throw hands, apply pressure. Phil Hawes already knocked out Jacob Malkoun in 18 seconds. I think this is very similar to that. And if it doesn't happen in the first round, I still like my chances. AJ Dobson, super strong wrestler. So Jacob Malkoun, you're getting splattered. And that's from the geek himself. I think so, man. -120. I'm putting a lot of money on that. AJ, let's go, son. Let's go, Goose.
Quite the hype up. I'm gonna side on the other side in this one. Not feeling great about Malkoun, but he's coming out of a training camp. He's sparring partners with Rob Whittaker, and saying it out loud and hearing it now, a lot of times when you look at that, the sparring partner's not as good, and they go in there and kind of underwhelm. However, in this one, I think he's got a little more experience. He's got a few boxing fights, so I think he'll be able to hold his own on the hands. If he gets stuck on the feet, I will definitely be nervous. But you see Bobby Knuckles wrestling improving so much so quickly. I think that Malkoun has to be doing the same. I expect this one to be tight, and I'm going to side with the guy with more experience in Malkoun.
Fair play. Fish.
So, AJ Dobson, 6-0. It's his debut. He had a Dana White Contender Series win in season 5, this one that just passed, submission win. So, never been finished. 3 knockouts, 2 subs. I'm going with Dobson on this one. Malkoun, 1-1 in the UFC. We got his last win was the unanimous decision against Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. He's got 2 knockouts, and he's got knocked out once. But I'm going with Dobson, going with the undefeated guy. Finishes both ways on the feet and on the ground. So let's go with Dobson on that one. What were the odds on that one? I had them at Pick'em. So
Okay, so they're kind of creeping that way. They're kind of following me and you, not so much Goose over there. But if you really want to know what I'm talking about, go watch that Contender Series fight, because that guy he fought was fucking real. That guy was an absolute Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. That guy was serious, man, and he put him down a couple of times and had the gas. He went for it a couple of times in that first round and had the gas to even get it at the end of the round, which was super impressive to me. This next fight is a shit show. It is between Carlos Olberg and Fabio Charon. Carlos Olberg is Israel Adesanya's boyfriend. And it shows because they're literally hand selecting Fabio Charon for this man. I still don't think he gets it done. I still don't. I like Fabio Charon in a good camp, a big body at plus 220, I think I saw. Dude, Carlos Olberg, man, Chinny, Njoku literally got knocked out by a forearm blast, and Carlos couldn't do anything to him, picking him apart with clean shots for 2 rounds. He couldn't knock him down. I think he's got no power. I think that he's all just Izzy's fucking dead weight. He's trying to drag into the show. And I think Fabio Charon comes out, sets a pace, and beats him. Not going to say how. I just think that the pure will and power will be on Charon's side. I love the dog money. Let's go Fishman first.
So, Charon, 0-2 in the UFC. His last 2 L's were one of them he got subbed by Alonzo Menafield, and then he got knocked out by William Knight, who's on this card. But Charon, he was
donkey.
Huh?
I said 2 absolute donkeys.
Yep. Former LFA champ. Charon was a former LFA champ. But what worries with me, all of his wins are by sub or unanimous decision. But I mean, a fight's a fight. But on the other side, Olberg, city kickboxing, so you know his striking's gonna be good. Not that much experience yet. So I mean, he's never been finished on the ground. He has a submission, 3 knockout wins. He's been knocked out 1 time. In the stats from the 2 fights, which was pretty impressive, it might even out once he gets some more experience. He had 15 strikes landed per minute, and his accuracy was at about, 62%. So I mean, that's a lot of strikes coming at you, and I don't know. I like that. Yeah, you can shell up, do whatever, but if he comes out, has some stamina, keeps the fight active and keeps it going, keeps striking, I think he's got it. So I'm going with Carlos Olberg, Izzy's boyfriend.
Goose. Izzy's boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm siding with Fish on this one. We got Olberg. He's a 2-time kickboxing world champ. Maybe not world champ, but whatever he was in, he was 2-time champ. So right there on the feet, he's going to have a massive advantage. You look at Fabio Charon, he's going to have to get it to the ground. You look at his UFC stats, he's never shot a takedown in the UFC. So, I mean, if your takedown's that good, you would be shooting them. You know, if he gets stuck on the feet in this fight, it's going to be a rough night for him. Do I think Carlos Olberg is a world beater? No, but he gassed out last fight after averaging 15 significant strikes landed per minute. So I think he went in, let his emotions get the best of him. I expect that he will have a little bit more calculated performance, and I kind of think he picks Fabio Charon apart on the feet, ultimately getting like a TKO finish. So
bold take, but I will tell you that the only reason that his damn stat line is so fucking inflated is because you got a guy like Njoku that's fucking not even throwing punches for 2 full rounds of that fight. So I mean, how many punches can you throw? A fuck ton? Like, goddamn, nothing's coming back. But he's a good prospect, and he can prove me wrong very, very easily. So let's move on to the next one. Alexander Hernandez versus Renato Moicano. This is a banger. Let's start with Goosey on this one.
Okay, so I went back and forth on this one a little bit. You look at Alexander Hernandez. He looks like a good athlete. He's got a good frame. He's pretty stocky. He's explosive. But the fight IQ is not there. Like, he does some stuff that'll make you scratch your head. And I think against a guy like Renato Moicano, he's been established. He's fought some legends. I think he'll just out game plan him. You know, if it was attributes only, I would probably take Alexander Hernandez. But I think the mind of Renato Moicano is going to put him in better positions. And I think that's going to lead to him coming out with a dub. You know, he has 4 losses, but you look at him, they're all against good competition. He's lost to Aldo, Font, Fiziev, and someone else who was pretty elite. So, you know, I don't know if he gets a finish. If he does, it would probably be a sub after maybe stuns him a little bit and Hernandez has to shoot a weak takedown. But, yeah, I see Moicano pulling out the dub in this one.
What do you see, Fish?
So Moicano, 7-4 in the UFC. He's an ATT guy, American Top Team. On the feet, I don't believe he's finished anyone on the feet. He's got knocked out 3 times. On the ground, 8 subs. He's only been subbed once, but like Goose said, Jose Aldo, Rafa, Fiziev, and those are some of his L's, but those are tough guys. Jose Aldo, Hall of Famer, basically, freaking dubs that he's had. Qatar, Swanson. So, I mean, this guy, he's dangerous, trains at ATT, definitely will be composed. And, but Alexander, the great Hernandez, I like the way this guy fights. He comes out to bang. Like Goose said, you know, he could slip up, do things, but in 2020, he had a knockout win, a knockout loss, and in 2021, a knockout win and a unanimous decision loss. But I remember one fight with Gritzmacher, poor Gritzmacher. He came out there, I mean, did what you had to do to a guy like that. Came out, exploded, and finished him. And I just love that. So, I mean, underdog money, I believe. I don't know what the odds you got him at. I had plus 145. But I'm going with Hernandez on this and praying. But I'm riding with him, but for the underdog money. But
yeah, you know what? Honestly, this fight is such a good fight. It's really hard to make like a confident decision with this one. But I am going to tell you that I do think Alexander Hernandez is the better fighter, and I do think that he can stay out of trouble for 3 rounds. He does do some things in fights that make you scratch your head, but I think in a fight like this with an opponent where the game plan is very evident, where it's you need to stay off your back, you need to keep this fight up. This guy doesn't have any knockouts. You know, he's quick, he's agile. I think that his takedown defense, his speed, and his just pure athleticism is going to win him this fight. Will it get crazy at some points, and will he have to slip out of something maybe? I definitely think this is a barn burner, not confident at all. But plus money for a guy that I think is better everywhere around and just needs a decent game plan to win this fight, I like that. I think I can do that. I think I can ride on that a little bit. So I'm going to go Hernandez in this one, but I'm not putting a lot of money on that. That's a fact. Let's go into the next one. Manny Martinez versus Ronnie Lawrence. First thing for me, Ronnie Lawrence, very quick, moves around, 7-1. Off the Contender Series, looked pretty decent. Manny Martinez, for some reason, he has a lot of power in his right hand. And I don't know what it is, but I just see it. I see it happening. I think he is losing a lot of this fight, but he clips him at some point. I got a Manny Martinez, I want to say round 2 knockout. Not super confident because he could just not catch him and lose the whole fight, 30-27. But Ronnie Lawrence's striking defense very shaky. Mana Martinez's right hand does not go away for 15 minutes. I like that. So I'm going to ride with Mana Martinez in this one. What do you got, Goose?
Yeah, you look at this, the more skilled fighter, a little bit more experience, probably goes to Ronnie Lawrence. He gets really hyped up. Like Dana White said, he's like some big prospect, or he's unbelievable. That being said, give me Mana Boy. I think he gets it done in one, and it's not really it's not going to be some big breakdown. Simply, the guy's got pop and he finds the punch. Okay, I was looking at his record. He's got a ton of first round knockouts. And then you look at it, it's against good competition and guys that don't get knocked out. Like a lot of the guys he's knocked out have a bunch of fights and only one knockout. And that's Mana Boy hitting that right hand. Like I saw he fought Ricky Tercios a little while back. We've seen the chin on that guy, knocks him out. And then a few others like that. You look at Ronnie Lawrence, I think obviously very skilled. Last fight, though, early, he wasn't shooting takedowns right away. He was kind of playing the game half in, half out. And I think that's when he gets caught. He was doing some spinning kicks, keeping the hands down. And that's a fun game until you miss. And with Mana Martinez, he'll make you pay. Also, Ronnie Lawrence, after his last two fights, I thought he had pretty good fights. He gets on the mic and he goes, "Oh, it wasn't my best. Sorry, I'll be better next time." That one tells me not super confident. And two, there's got to be a reason he's better in the practice room than under the bright lights. This is going to be his first pay-per-view in front of fans. I think he's going to be a little bit shy early, and he's going to pay for it. Mana Boy in front of the hometown crowd, Houston boy. I got him with the first round knockout in this.
Let's go. Well, bold takes back to back, and we did not rehearse this. Fishman, what you got?
So, Ronnie Lawrence, 1-0 in the UFC, Dana White Contender Series win in season 4. So last year, unanimous decision. He's an ATT guy. So the only thing I got to say, his only loss was in a unanimous decision. So he's never been finished. And I believe in the 2 fights, he had like a crazy amount of takedowns. He averaged like 10 or something. I know it's a stupid number, but definitely prefers it. I think he would rather get this fight on the ground for sure, but I don't know if he'll be able to do that. And like you guys said, I'm going with Martinez. 8 knockouts, never been knocked out. And Houston, hometown. So, yeah, he's going to be coming out to bang for sure. So, plus 240 also, minus 300. I'm always going with the plus 240 probably on that. So,
in a fight where you know it's going to be a close scrap and you can get a guy fighting in his hometown for plus 220 and evidently has the power advantage, thank us later. All right, we're going to the next one. William Knight versus Maxim Grisham. My analysis in this fight is pretty short. Big boys gotta eat now. Maxim Grisham's too old for this shit. William Knight's fucking so goddamn strong. He could be in a terrible position in this fight, and I believe he has the power to bench press out of it. Heard rumors he's on steroids. Don't doubt it for a second. Maxim Grisham looked really, really rusted in his last fight. I think he loses a couple teeth here. I got William Knight via round 1 slaughter. Let's go Fish.
So, is he an underdog on the odds?
No.
William Knight is, yeah.
No
William
way.
Knight is. Yeah. William Knight, I'm looking at it right now, is plus 138.
Okay, so yeah, I had at plus 145. So I don't know what's going on there, but slam William Knight. I can tell you that. This dude I could describe him with 4 letters, and that's YOLK. And this dude is a freaking tank, and he's knocking him out in early second round.
All right, Goose, let's hear it.
I'm playing heel. I'm going with Maxim Grisham. Am I super confident? No, but I think he's got the experience. He's a little bit better of a striker, and he might have the recipe. He's got a good jab. He's got some good leg kicks. He is coming down from heavyweight, so he is a big boy. He's stuffed takedown from Marcin Tybura, and I think he'll be able to do the same with William Knight. Am I worried about him getting hit with that overhand right? Obviously. But I think you look at William Knight, obviously he's a huge dude, a little bit disproportional for 205 pounds. He's given up a lot of reach, a lot of height. And even if it doesn't catch up to him this fight, the higher he climbs up the ranks and the better skill level opponents he faces, it will catch up to him. I personally think it does this fight, and that's why I'm taking Maxim Grisham.
Yeah, if it gets out of the first round, you can definitely bet that I'll be very, very much sweating with my fucking William Knight ticket. Let's go to the next fight. We're going to run into Alex Perez and Matt Schnell. What a fight. I mean, both these guys, huge prospects. I mean, finding themselves on main cards and fighting big names. And I think Matt Schnell's got a fucking UFC rookie card. And he's on the prelims. What the fuck's going on here against Alex Perez, who just fought for a title a couple fights ago? I don't know what's up with the placing, but they should be on the main card. Okay, either way, my pick. I don't think Matt Schnell is very good. I think Alex Perez sits outside. I think he picks him apart. I think obviously if it gets to the ground, it's a whole nother world. But with these two very elite bantamweights, flyweights, whatever you want to call them, there's just too much athleticism for anybody to hold each other down, I feel like, in this situation. So I feel like it comes down to close action combat. What's going to add up over time? I like Perez's leg kicks. Not too confident. Really just going to watch this fight, but if I had to pick one, I'd go Perez. Let's go, Goose.
Yeah, so I was watching tape on both fighters. I think they're very similar. Perez brings a little bit more physicality. Schnell, maybe a little bit more technical. He's got a little bit of reach. And they're not so similar, but they're similar enough. Perez at minus 400 really isn't doing anything for me. For that, I'm going to go with Schnell. I think he's got the jab. He might be able to keep him outside, make him uncomfortable enough to shoot that takedown. And once he shoots that takedown, I think that is playing right into Schnell's game. Because you look at it, Perez hasn't fought since his last title fight, which was November of 2020, I believe. He got finished in a minute 30. It was to Davison Figueiredo, though, so you got to give him the nod there. But now he has going to be cutting weight twice in 2 months after not having to do that for a year. I think it affects him a little bit because if you remember, they were supposed to fight on that December pay-per-view, and Schnell actually had some weight cut issues and the UFC pulled the fight. I think because of that, Schnell really makes it a point to do everything right. I think he comes into this one fresh and with a little bit more activity on his side. I'm going to take Schnell in this one.
Yeah, the line is – I didn't really know the line was like that. Last time I saw it, it didn't seem like it was too inflated, but it might be going the wrong way. Yeah, dude, close matchups like this, top prospects, how can you not just chase the big bag? I mean, what's minus 400 in an absolute coin toss of a fight? Fishman, what you got?
Yeah, Schnell for the underdog money, man. A fight's a fight. And happen. And so this is what I see with Schnell. So subs, he has 8 subs. He's only been subbed 1 time. So his ground is his jiu-jitsu is good, and he strikes until he gets to the ground. He'll use the jiu-jitsu as like a defense, and he trains at Fortis MMA. And in his last 2 fights in 2021, I'm looking here online, he's where is it? His striking has improved like dramatically. He is, where is it? Strikes attempted compared to all the other his past fights in like 2019, he's like almost quadrupling them, throwing like 200 strikes out there. And I think he's gonna make it a good fight. And I'm riding with Schnell on this underdog money.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next fight. It's a girl fight. We got Roxanne Modafferi versus Casey ONeill. I don't want to waste a lot of time on this fight. Casey ONeill needs to hang him up if she can't. She can't take down Roxanne in 271 in Houston, Texas on Saturday night. You can't bet Roxanne. We love big lines. We love big dogs, but you really can't. This is a complete mismatch. This isn't going to be competitive. This is probably my smoke break. This is probably when I'll go rip the J outside. What do you got for this one, Goose?
Yeah, obviously Casey ONeill is a better fighter, but it's a legit prospect versus Roxanne Modafferi. Should Casey ONeill win, that would make sense. But it's Roxanne Modafferi in the women's featherweight division, and those fights never make sense. That being said, I'm gonna listen to my brain and I'm gonna pick King Casey, but I'm probably staying away from this one, to be honest. So
He's damn near.
My pick is gonna be Casey ONeill, and that's all I got.
Dude, after this fight, if she loses, Roxanne, she's coming up on a 500 fighter. 25-20 she'll be if she loses to Casey ONeill.
This is officially Roxanne Modafferi's retirement fight. So no matter what she's done, she announced that.
Well, shout out to her. We saw her get proposed to at Titan FC. Fishman, you got anything on this fight?
Yeah, Mason stole it. Took the words right out of my mouth. Congrats to Roxanne for just getting engaged. CEO Geek and I were in the house for that. It was quite a scene. And but yeah, I hope all is well after your career, but I'm riding Casey.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention that, she's got a nice husband, because to get knocked clean the fuck out and then win a decision, a disqualification W, and to still have that pure love and joy in your heart to be like, I still am going to pop this question right now. Like, I don't give a shit if I got no brain cells. I'm popping this right now. So shout out to Mr. I guess it's not Modafferi, but I'll call him that for now. Let's go to the fight. Last fight to the main card. We're going to go Andrei Arlovski versus Jared Vanderaa. Andrei Arlovski, too technical, too skilled, vet. Jared Vanderaa sucks. No way, dude. This will blow my mind. This one would blow my mind. I think Arlovski is better, and it would just blow my mind if he lost this fight to Jared Vanderaa. So what do you got, Goose?
Yeah, I agree with you. I see Andrei Arlovski obviously having a better skill set, a more all-around game. So I'm going to pick him. I'm a little bit hesitant, though. He's 43 years old. The chin's failed him a couple times. I don't see Vanderaa clipping it, but a 29-year-old heavyweight against a 43-year-old, he probably could. But his ground game's atrocious. Like, he has a 20% takedown defense in the UFC. If Arlovski has any awareness, if he gets clipped but doesn't get put out, I think he'll still be able to get a takedown. And for that reason, I'm going Arlovski. I think he's probably going to get it done by decision.
Yeah. All right, Fish, you got anything on this one?
I'm going with Arlovski, vet experience, ATT. his last 3 fights, he lost to Aspinall, which is a tough guy right now, climbing in the ranks, going to be soon. And Chase Sherman should have beat him, and he did. Carlos Felipe, and he beat him. So you got to go with the ATT guy, the vet, Andrei Arlovski.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up the prelim picks from the tuning in. Check in for the main card. We're coming at you real soon. You want to know who's going to win? Where the big money lays? Find out.